What's going on, WRC and employee gym patrons? My name's Camden, and today I'm here with Marion and Wyatt. Today we're going to be conducting a kettlebell and bodyweight explosive movement exercise. It's also going to assist with a little bit of hip mobility and strengthening. If you don't have a kettlebell, you can use either a plate like Marion will be doing or a dumbbell like Wyatt will be doing. So to get into the workout, we're going to start with a 5-minute warm-up. It's going to be a 20-minute workout, and then a 5-minute cool down. The workout's going to consist of 3 phases, one being a bodyweight phase, one being a kettlebell phase, and then one being a mixed phase. In these phases, we'll have 4 movements each for 30 seconds, 45 seconds of rest. We do each phase twice, and then 60 seconds of rest between each phase. So we're going to start off with our warm-up. We're going to do 30 seconds for each of these movements. We're going to start off with jumping jacks. In 3, 2, 1, go. All right, 5 seconds, we're going to be going over to high knees. 3, 2, 1, high knees. Make sure you drive the knees up. I want to make sure you warm the body up fully. Get the fast twitch fibers going since we're going to be doing some explosive movements. We want to get the most out of every single movement we do. All right, switching over to butt kicks in 3, 2, 1, butt kicks. All right, switching over to tibialis and calf raises. 3, 2, 1, go. Gonna go back and do a calf raise. Calf raise, tibialis raise. Just back and forth. Good for ankle mobility. Making sure we don't hurt our ankles when we're doing these explosive jumping movements, since they are taking a lot of the force when we are landing. Just make sure your ankles are feeling nice, loose, and warmed up. In 5 seconds, we'll be going to alternating ankle extensions. Gonna go like this, like you're marching in place. Plant your toe on the floor and extend your ankle. Once again, go for ankle mobility, warming it up so we don't have stiff ankles when we're landing on them to reduce risk of injury. Keep going like you're marching in place here. All right, in 3 seconds, we'll be doing some arm swings, forward and back. Start with forward, let's go. Forward arm swing. We're gonna do 15 seconds forward, 15 seconds back. And back. Now, while this workout is lower body focused on the explosive side, we still need to warm up our upper extremities as they will be utilized in certain portions and we don't want to hurt them. So we want to make sure they're properly warmed up to prevent injury. Next, we got hip gates. Open the hip gate like that. Just imagine you're stepping over something big in front of you. Just open them gates up. Like your hip's the door and you're opening it up. Make sure you're getting a full range of motion there. Getting your hips nice and loose. Like I said, we're also working on hip mobility and hip strength. So this is a very important stretch to do. Next, we're going into some alternating knee hugs. So you're gonna grab your knee, pull it in like this. Alternating legs. It's gonna help loosen your hamstrings a little, help loosen your hips out a lot, which once again we need in all these movements that we're gonna be doing. Hips are a very important factor in these movements. Five seconds, we'll be going into alternating quad pulls. 3, 2, 1. All right, alternating quad pulls. Here we go. And a big point of emphasis during this workout, while we are working out on a time basis, I want to focus on the quality of the reps over the quantity. So in that 30 seconds, I don't want you to focus on getting a lot of reps. I want you to focus on every single rep being very high quality and a maximal explosive effort. We're now switching over to berry scoops, or ice cream scoops if you like to call them that. Let's plant that heel down and scoop. Should feel it in the hamstring and a little bit in the calf. But like I was saying, I do not want a lot of reps that are low quality. I want you to focus on controlling the reps and exploding through the movements so we can develop that explosive power. So that doesn't mean we need 20 reps in 30 seconds. I'm perfectly fine 6 to 8 as long as they're full quality. All right, that's all for the warm-up. Gonna take a quick 30-second breather. Then we're gonna get into phase 1 of the workout, which is gonna be body weight. For this body weight phase, like I said, each phase is gonna be 4 workouts. We're gonna do single leg side hops, alternating pogo jumps, lateral bounce to a hop, and jumping lunges. I'll demonstrate those workouts when we get to them. Pretty self-explanatory. Gonna get into it in 5 seconds here. All right, 3, 2, 1. Start with single leg side hops. Gonna go on one foot, jump side to side like this. Good for ankle mobility, stiffness, which is why we got them ankles nice and warmed up. Only doing 15 seconds per leg here to total out with 30 seconds. Switch legs. Since the ankle is a smaller part of the leg, you don't want to put it under too much tension for a prolonged time so we don't risk injuring it. 3 seconds, we're going to switch to alternating pogo jumps and go. These, you're going to stand like this, alternating stance, jump, and switch your stance in the air. Focus on having a safe landing, bending the knees, bracing them ankles, and exploding upwards with your weight. Like I said, I want good quality on all these reps. Once you get a good feel for it, you can start going through them a little more fluid, but I don't want you sacrificing quality for that. Next, we got lateral bound to a hop. Gonna bound laterally, then hop up, just like this. If you can't do the hopping portion, you can just bound to the side, sit there, then bound over, or you can bound, then do a fake hop. Whichever one you're most comfortable with. All right, in 5 seconds, we'll be going to jumping lunges. And here we go, jumping lunges. Gonna go into a lunge, jump, and then switch your stance to the other leg. Like I said, focus on the quality of these reps. Don't try to force as many out as you can. All right, that's 30 seconds. We're gonna take a 45-second rest. Then we're gonna get into the second phase, or the second set of the first phase. If you wanna make the jumping lunges harder, you can grab whatever weight you're using and hold it like this while you're doing the lunges. Make them a little harder, add some weight if you want to push yourself a little further. We got 5 seconds. Gonna get into it, starting with the single leg side hops. 3, 2, 1, go. Single leg side hops. 15 seconds each leg. Just focus on spending little time on the floor. The moment you land, you want to bounce back to the other side. And switch legs. Just focus on bouncing back and forth as quick as you can. Now going to be going into alternating pogo jumps. Once again, just focus on that explosive movement. Getting as high as you can with each jump. If you get in a rhythm, jump like that. As you can see around me, Wyatt taking his time with his reps. He's planting, catching himself, and going as high as he can. Same for Marion here. Landing, taking their time with the reps, and going up as high as they can. Quality of rep over the quantity. Next, we're going to the lateral bounds into hops. Bound, hop up, hop, just like that. Just focus on controlling your weight when you land. I don't want you wobbling around like this. I want you to land steadily and hop up. As you can see here, with Wyatt, controlling his weight, he lands, hops. Same for Marion, controlled, hop. And like I said, if you can't do the hop, just focus on bounding and landing controlled. Finish out here with jumping lunges, 30 seconds. Like I said, if you want them to be a little harder, you can grab that weight and use that. Give you an example of what that would look like here. Hold the weight here, and you go into your jumping lunge, just like that. 3 more seconds, come on. And we're done. Take a 1-minute break, then we're gonna get into phase 2, which is the kettlebell focus phase of the workout. Good stuff. Good stuff. It's not too bad. Oh man, it'll be all right. Yeah. All right, this kettlebell phase, we're doing 4 workouts. As I said in every phase, doing kettlebell swings, kettlebell thrusters, kettlebell swing arounds, and then glute bridges with a single leg. If you don't know what a swing is, you're gonna grab the weight, swing it up like this. For a thruster, gonna hold it here, squat down with it, and use your weight to project that kettlebell upwards. We're gonna start here in a few seconds, starting off, like I said, kettlebell swings. Go ahead and grab your weight and get into it. Focus on exploding upwards with the weight. Make sure you're hinging those hips backwards and pushing that weight up with all the force that you generate from your lower body on the way up. All right, now going into kettlebell thrusters. Gonna grab the kettlebell, put it over your shoulder like this, squat down, and use the force of your squat to project that weight upwards. Thrust that weight, that's why it's called a thruster. Thrust it up. All right, now grab your weight. Gonna go into swing arounds. Pretty easy workout here. Just focus on keeping your core stable and swinging it around the body. Try to keep your core as stable as possible and focus on moving that weight around your body at a steady pace without shifting all your weight around. Good for stability and generating general balance and core stability in your body. All right, 5 seconds here. Gonna finish out with glute bridges. Gonna get on the floor. Single leg, 30 seconds each leg. Pick a leg you wanna work first. Put the weight you're using on that leg, then thrust upwards like this. Focus on exploding upwards with the weight. If weight is too hard for you, you can do this with your body weight as well. Like I said, focus on exploding upwards with the weight. And switch legs, 30 seconds. Just make sure you're exploding upwards. Control it on the way down, explode up. And we're all done with the first set of phase 2. Take a 45-second rest. Gonna get into the second set of phase 2 here. Like I said, with that hip thrust or the glute bridge, if that's too hard for you, you can just use your body weight. If it feels better, the focus here is your comfort of the workout while you're still working as hard as you possibly can. And as well, like I said, if you don't have a kettlebell, or dumbbells, and all these workouts are performable with either ones. As you can see with my assistants here, we got Wyatt here using a dumbbell and Marion using a plate. All right, we're gonna start up here in 5 seconds, starting with kettlebell swings. Grab your weight and swing it through. Here we go. Make sure you hinge them hips backwards and thrust them forward, kind of like you're deadlifting. As you can see with my partners here, Wyatt here using a dumbbell, still doing the swing through, and Marion here using the plate, just swinging it through. Next, go into a kettlebell thruster. Use the opposite arm that you did last time to balance that out. Gonna once again put it on your shoulder, go down to a squat, thrust the weight up. Using the force of the squat on the way up. All right, now we're going into swing rounds, 30 seconds. All right, in 10 seconds, gonna be finishing out with our glute bridges. Remember, 30 seconds each leg. If you cannot handle the weight, body weight is perfectly fine. Just focus on exploding upwards. Let's go into them bridges. One leg at a time, 30 seconds. Focus on controlling the weight on the way down and exploding upwards with it. We're gonna switch legs here. Remember, focus on exploding upwards with the weight and controlling it on the way down. Got 5 seconds. Get one more good rep in. And we're done with that. Take a minute break. We're gonna work into phase 3, which is mixed work using kettlebells and body weight. You're doing great so far. Let's keep up the work. You got one more phase, about 8 minutes max work, then we get a cool down. Let's finish strong. So for this phase, since it's mixed work, we're gonna do kettlebell movement, body weight, kettlebell movement, body weight. Starting with kettlebell jump squats, which is pretty simple. Gonna hold the kettlebell right here like you're deadlifting it, go down with it, then jump up. If you can't handle the weight, you can just do a jump squat with your body weight. If you can't jump, you can just go down and focus on exploding upwards like you're about to jump. We then go into burpees, which you can either do a full burpee with a push-up or just a straight arm burpee. And if you want to, you can hop at the top depending on how hard you want the burpee to be. We'll have our assistants demonstrating that here. And then we have knee raises and mountain climbers, which we'll demonstrate in the workout. So we're going into phase 3. Let's start with kettlebell jump squats. Here we go. Focus on hinging your hips back and exploding up with the weight, kind of like the kettlebell swings, but you're jumping with it. Now going into burpees. Once again, do them at your own pace. Focus on the quality of the rep. You can go down, do a straight arm. You can go down to a push-up if you want. And at the top, you can either go up like this or add a jump to it, whichever one's easier for you. All right, now going into kettlebell knee raises. If you can't do it with the weight, just do it with your body. Focus on putting the kettlebell on your knee and raising it up. create tension in that hip. Imagine you're jumping off of one leg to dunk a basketball, and you're bringing that hip up, or you're bringing that knee up like you're about to jump. Just control that weight, feel the tension in your hip. This is great for strengthening and mobilizing your hip, which a lot of people tend to neglect. Go ahead and switch the legs. Control that weight. Go up high and squeeze it for a little bit at the top to create that time under tension. All right, we're gonna finish out here with mountain climbers. Once again, you can adjust the speed, you can adjust how low you are, depending on what difficulty you want. If you're unable to use your legs here, you can just hold a plank and create that core stability over time. All right, you're all done. First set here, quick 45-second rest. We're gonna get into the last set of our workout. You're doing great, everyone. Remember with them kettlebell jump squats to focus on hinging that weight up and exploding upwards with it, and focus on the quality of those reps. All right, got 10 seconds here. We're gonna be going to our last set, starting with the kettlebell jump squats. As I said, if you don't have a kettlebell, you can use a plate or a dumbbell, as you can see on my left and right here. All right, let's go into it, 30 seconds. As you can see here, got Wyatt going down with the dumbbell, rising up with it, look at him hinging them hips back and pushing them forward to create that explosive power. Same for Marion here, going down like she's deadlifting the plate, then exploding upwards with it. We're now going into some burpees here. Once again, you can do the burpee however you feel is best for your needs. For me, I'm doing a full burpee where I go down to a push-up and I jump at the top. If you can't do that, you can go down with a straight arm. You don't have to jump at the top, whichever difficulty you want for your workout. As always though, you should be pushing yourself as hard as you can. All right, let's go into some knee raises, with or without the weight, depending on what you want. Once again, focus on controlling that weight, holding it at the top for a little bit to create that tension. Make sure you're stabilized with your hands. Do not use your hands to lift the weight up. All of the tension and work should be in your hip. Your hands are just there to keep it from moving. Go ahead and switch legs. Make sure you're holding it at the top and keeping it steady, like I said. Really hold that time under tension. As you can see with them, they're not using kettlebells, but they're still getting that tension. Finish out here with some mountain climbers. Last movement, let's make it the best one. Work hard here. And we're all done. Good stuff, guys. You've completed the explosive power and hip mobility / strengthening workout. We're gonna take a quick little breather here and go into our 5-minute cool down to make sure we don't hurt ourselves throughout the day and keep the muscles loose. Grab some water, catch your breath, and get ready for a quick 5-minute cool down. It's just all stretching, no movements here, nothing hard. get ready. We're going to start here with quad pulls. Every movement's going to be 20 seconds each for each leg. Start off with the 20-second quad pull. Hold it. Make sure you keep your stability. Focus on keeping your balance and staying upright here and getting a squeeze in your quad. Really feeling a stretch there. All right, go ahead and switch legs. If you can't keep your balance, you can always find something nearby you to hold on to. Next, we're going to go into knee hugs, just like the warm-up, except we're not alternating. Just hold it in place. Make sure you really feel that tension. A little bit of a stretch in your hip. Loosen them up after the workout we just had. They're definitely feeling a little tight now. Also pull it up, feel a little bit in your hamstrings and your glutes here. Let's get the whole leg loose. Go ahead and switch legs. Just want to make sure we get a good stretch here so we're not feeling tight throughout the day after this intense workout we just had. All right, we're now going to go into some toe touches, straight legs, bend over and touch your toes. If you can't touch your toes, just go as low as you can until you feel a deep stretch in your hamstrings. Keep them legs as straight as possible as well. All right, now we're going to spread our legs and touch the floor. Same thing, if you can't touch the floor, just get as low as you can and make sure you're feeling a deep stretch in your hamstrings. All right, now we're going to touch each one of our toes. Start with your left. Once again, if you can't touch your toe, touch your ankle, or just go down as deep as you can so you're feeling the stretch in your hamstring. You should feel a little bit in your hip too if you're going deep enough. All right, go ahead and switch legs. All right, we're now going into a side lunge here. Just go as deep as you can. You should feel it a little bit in your hips, a little bit in your hamstrings. Hold that deep lunge. All right, go ahead and switch sides. Try to keep both feet as flat on the ground as you can. Really stretch that body out. All right, now going to go down into a butterfly. Make sure you push the knees down as low as you can so you can really feel a stretch in your hips here. Flap them a little bit if you want to. Just make sure you're feeling that stretch in your hips and getting them loose after all that tension we just put on them. Now going into a 90-90. Once again, great for the hips. 90 degrees here, 90 degrees here. You're going to bring your chest towards your knee. So again, feel it in your hip, a little bit of your glute, a little bit of your hamstring. Let's get that whole area of the leg nice and loose. Go ahead, switch sides. Once again, 90-90, chest to the knee. Make sure you're really feeling that stretch in your hips, getting them loose. There we go. Now we're going to finish here with a cobra to a child's pose. Start off in a cobra. I'm going to go down here, push up. Feel that deep stretch in your core and your lower back. A little bit of your hips if you're pushing up hard enough. All right, and now we're going to go into a child's pose. Lean back, push them hips backwards. Feel it in your shoulders, maybe a little bit of your chest, a little bit in your hips. Just Get deep in this stance and hold it. All right, now back into a cobra. Again, just push up as hard as you can, comfortably. Feel a deep stretch in them lower abs, hips, lower back. Make sure you're breathing throughout all these stretches as well. Now go back into the child's pose. Once again, about 10 more seconds. Just hold it, deep stretch in the hips. Make sure you're breathing through these. And all done. Thank you for coming out to our workout today. You're now a little bit more explosive. Your hips are probably feeling a little more loose and a little stronger, and you're getting better day by day. Thank you for coming out, WRC patrons. Have a good day.